Some say it's the shipwreck that time forgot, a proud ship that held the title of longest for the longest time on the lakes. But the sinking of the Carl D. Bradley wasn't immortalized by a top 40 song like the Edmund Fitzgerald, and now only a few maritime communities recall her name and the 33 men who were lost in a November gale.
The Fitzgerald seemed to get all the honor and glory, and the Carl D. Bradley at Rogers City was just pushed to the wayside.
Frank Mays remembers the sinking all too well. He was aboard when the ship broke in half beneath him. Now he's headed back to the wreck site to squelch rumors from the Bradley's owners that the wreck sank in one piece. His adventure began in Lake Huron with a sub-orientation dive to the steamer Cedarville, a ship he worked aboard just prior to a full-time job on the Bradley. Inverted but intact, Cedarville is the largest shipwreck available to sport divers in the Great Lakes. Nearly a dozen men died when the ship collided with a Norwegian freighter in the heavy fog in 1965. Frank's visit was brief, but long enough to get acquainted with the submarine that would take him to the Bradley gravesite.
Small. But it's big when you get inside. You don't notice it one bit because your mind is put on different things. So you're looking, always observing and pointing out things and looking for something.
The day-long journey to Charlevoix saw a change in the weather as winds pushed waves higher and higher over the barge that housed the expedition crew. It was an omen of things to come, as the first dive on the Bradley was blinded by heavy underwater silt. The risks of entanglement in the wreckage were too great, and the sub was brought up.
Our big restriction is visibility, especially our wrecks. We can do bad visibility when we're doing science sometimes, but when you have to go around a wreck, you're worried about cables and lines and things you can't see you could run into, and so we have to be a little extra careful around wrecks.
Expedition leader Fred Shannon was obviously disappointed, but confident things would change.
After we got underway, we had weather problems, we've had some equipment problems, and after all said and done, we had beautiful weather, went down, and the last thing that could go wrong would be visibility, and that's exactly what happened. But the lake's not going to get the best of us.
We'll show you what the expedition found and hear Frank May's amazing survival story tomorrow. On Northern Lake Michigan, this is Ric Mixter.